Okay, so I wanted to go over some notes for chapter 7. And it's a pretty basic chapter. It's all in one. So studies have shown that the amount of money you have is less important than having your personal finances under control. So the main thing is, if you keep a budget and you keep up with how much you're spending and how much income you have, you will be better prepared than a lot of people who don't keep up with that stuff. The average college graduate earns nearly $20,000 per year, more than a person with a high school diploma. And then over the course of a career, that adds up to about $1 million in extra income. Ways to manage your finances. You need to know your bank balance, so check over it every month. Know what you're spending. Don't buy on impulse, and then make a budget and don't overspend once you have that budget. All right. If Sally spends $5 on a latte and has at least one on average per day, how much does she spend? She also gets another latte every 3 days. And we're talking about how much does she spend every year, okay? So she spends $5 on a latte and she has one on average per day. All right, so how many days are in a year? There's 365 days in a year and she spends $5, right? Plus, every 3 days she gets another latte. Well, let's do the 5 later. So we have 365 plus every 3 days she also gets another one. So you have to think about it as 365 divided by 3, and you get 121. So she's also buying 121 more. So calculate the total of that. That's the amount of lattes she's buying. And that's 486 lattes, and they're $5 each. So the amount that she spends every year is about $2,430. So there's a lot of things in life that you spend, like lunch. Okay, let's say if you spend $5 on lunch every day, think about how much you could save if you were to budget a little bit better and not spend things on stuff that you don't really need. Your credit card bill is approximately $1,500 a month with 24% annual interest rate, and that bill's 2% a month. So there's 12 months in a year, right? So 2% a month would it add up to give you your 24%. How much are you paying? So you think about it, you've got your $1,500. Oops, let's go back. Got your $1,500 and your 2%, so that'd be 0.02. So every month, just in interest, it costs $30 just to have that credit card, okay? So for a year, how much would that be? Well, we multiply it by 12, and it would be $360. Now, this is just to have the card. It's not counting this $1,500 a month. So calculate what you would really be spending if you're spending $1,500 a month plus your $360 and using that card. So in creating a good budget, you need to list all your monthly income, include what it averages out to be per month for things that are not monthly. So if you have tuition, okay, you'd pay tuition twice a year, right? First semester, second semester. You would total that up and then divide it by 12 for your monthly. To create a good budget, after you finish out your monthly income, you have to list all your monthly expenses. So, like I said, tuition, any vacations, any holidays that you have to pay for, you need to divide that by 12 for a monthly expense. Then you subtract your total expenses from your total income, and this is called your net monthly cash flow. Your cash flow is, if it's positive, that means you are good to go. You have money left over in your budget. And if it's a negative amount, that means you're in the hole and you need to find a way to balance out your budget. That might mean not spending as much on holidays, or not going on a vacation, or putting more money in somehow, so getting another job, and then you make adjustments as needed. If you have to pay to get a new part for your car balance, your budget should show that you can pay for the part, and you might have to spend less on certain things to do that. So how much would we pay per month if you have, so we have 2 semesters in a year, right? So 4,500 times 2, 800 in student fees, and that would be two semesters, right? And then 500 per semester on textbooks, so that would be 2 semesters. So let's figure out, so that should be about 11,600, and we want to know per month. This will be per year, so then we would divide this by 12 because that's per month, and it would be about 966.67, and that would be just the amount of that you would spend on school. All right, so let's say you're given this budget, and you want to determine if they're making enough money. So the first thing we do is we calculate the income per month. So here's your income. So you make $1,800 a month, and then $4,000 for the whole year. Remember, we're doing a monthly, so you would have to do 4,000 divided by 12, and that's 333.33. So 1,800 plus 333.33, and your total income is this right here per month. All right, then you do your expenses. So you've got $800 for rent, $200 on gas, $150 for health insurance, $80, $105 for cell phone, $100 on utilities, $350 on groceries, $300 on entertainment, and you also spend $13,500 on college expenses. So remember, this will be divided by 12. So that would be 1,125. And then you have $1,500 for gifts, so you got to divide that by 12, and that's $125. And then you have $900 on clothes, and so you have to divide that also by 12. And I forgot your vacations. So 2,000 divided by 12 is 166.67, and 900 divided by 12 is 75. And so then you have to add all of these up, and you will get 3,576.67. So then you do your income, 2,133.33, minus your expenses, which is 3,576.67, and you end up negative 1,443.34. So that means your cash flow, your net cash flow is negative. So that means you're in the hole. So if you were to give a suggestion to this person on what they could cut back, you would say, don't go on the vacation, and that would pretty much solve your in the hole problem. So anyway, there's an example of a budget. You will have one of these on your test. All right. Mary commutes both to her job and to school driving 350 miles per week. Her car is paid for, but she has to spend about $2,000 per year on repairs. The car gets 17 miles per gallon. Let's assume that gas is $3 a gallon. So there are she is thinking about getting a new car that would cost $27,000, in which she will receive free maintenance and oil changes for the next 5 years. The new car will get 45 miles per gallon. Should she do this? So we know that there is 350 weeks per week. 350 per week. That's how many miles, right? And there are how many weeks in a year? There's 52 weeks in a year. So you can figure out how many miles he drives per week, right? So that would be 18,200 miles per week. And we know that her car gets 17 miles a gallon. So if you divide that by 17, it's about 1,070.58. So it'll cost about, it'll be about that many gallons, okay? And if you know that, well, just assume that gas is $3, you can figure out how much it's going to cost her. So you'll take 3 times your 1,070 gallons that you'll be using, and it'll cost about 3,211.76 per year. That's how much she's spending on gas. The new car, we know she's still driving the same amount, which is your 18,200, but she's going to get 45 miles to the gallon. And so that means her gallons will be about 404 gallons she'll need. And then we can figure out how much that will cost her. So multiply it by 3, 1,213.33. And so if she bought the new car, she would save, this is how much on her old car she'd spent on gas. This is how much on her new car. So you subtract them. And so she would save about 1,998.48 in gas. But the problem is she's got to be able to have that much money. So it just depends. Obviously, she's going to save right much money on gas if she would get the new car. Okay, I'm going to skip this one. And make sure you guys work on the review and study for your test and complete the test this week, and that is it.